you were obviously no stranger now to doing these kind of voiced animation, like voice pieces. I mean, you probably got a few more lines in here than you do when, you know, Phineas and Ferb, when you're voicing Ferb. But when you're now doing these things, do you get up and you get yourself dressed to go to work, or do you turn up in your joggers? Like, what do you treat it like? You know, God, this is serious.
It's one of the pleasures actually, is you can just get up and turn up in anything. So no, I tend to. Well, if I take them, a lot of times I take the motorbike in, because a lot of times it's done in central London, and that's a bit of an annoying place to go to on public transport. So I normally zip in on my motorbike. So I'll normally be in leathers. But then when I get there, I realize that actually being in leathers is not the best thing, because they squeak on the microphone. So then you need to be in like something kind of cotton, or honestly, you have to think about that. Or like, I can't wear certain watches in there because they tick too loudly.
Oh, wow.
So you can't wear very loud clothing.
That's interesting. Actually, I'd never even thought about all of that. But clearly, as a pro, this is awesome.
No Velcro. No Velcro.
Were you into dragons though growing up? Like, or were you a dinosaur kind of person? Like, people kind of have their ones that they were into.
I mean, I thought, yeah, I wouldn't say I was a dinosaur person. I was more into sci-fi, Star Wars and things, space stuff. But I think every kid kind of likes a bit of dinosaurs.
Or dragons.
It's just fascinating because they once existed, and as a child you just go, wait, what? That once was walking around where I'm walking. That's insane. Yeah. Literal monsters used to roam the planet, and that's quite cool. So yeah, I was always interested to a certain degree. I like the storytelling side of dragons and mystical creatures. I did always like to.
I used to get confused when I was younger. Dinosaurs and dragons. I was like, dragons existed, right? But thankfully, I've thrown out that. Obviously, like I said, though, you are used to doing this, but is it still kind of weird when you have to do sound effects like falling and landing and sniffing? Like, is that still an odd thing? Do you kind of have to psych yourself up for it?
Yeah, it is a bit odd. It's also quite fun because you've got to get it perfect. So you've really got to kind of sit there and study the animated moves and try and figure out what would be the most appropriate noise to make for that moment. So I quite enjoy that. But for a long sequence, fight sequences in particular are really quite hard, because you run the risk of passing out, because you're panting, breathing, jumping, falling, and if you go through a long sequence, you start to feel your hands go a bit clammy, and you get pins and needles, and at that point you have to you have to stop, otherwise you will pass out.
You're actually making it sound really a lot more difficult than I think we probably think that it is.
I mean, it's not necessarily difficult. It's just if it gets to that stage, it's not the most comfortable. A long action sequence in ADR or just any kind of recording really is quite a challenge, just on the oxygen that you have to inhale.
That's true. Do you normally flag to them? I was like, that was a good roar, that was a good sniff. Do you flag to them like?
Yeah, and what's quite funny is that they're very good at deciding what's. Because I mean, sometimes it's just funny when you're trying to pick between different kinds of noises. But they've got very good ears as well, so they'll go, "Oh no, take 3 was brilliant," and you go, "Really, was it?" It's just going, "That's brilliant."
Obviously, in here, Freddie Highmore is playing Ben, who claims to be a dragon rider, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think at some point we all. You fake it until you make it. Have you done that? Has there been a point in your life where you've had to fake it until you've made it with something?
Yeah, I mean, at school, I would blag through and say I'd read certain books or I'd done certain pieces of homework. Absolutely. Until I would do it or not do it. Yes, I think everyone's guilty of doing that to a certain extent. You just got to be careful.
Exactly.
Not too much. You don't get caught. You don't get caught.
Exactly. As long as you can kind of come through with the goods at the end, then that's the main thing. And obviously, like I said, you've been, I say this year, but I guess it's accounting for last year as well. You're having quite an incredible time, obviously, with Queen's Gambit. You're in now this film with like Felicity Jones and the amazing Sir Patrick Stewart. And, there's a lot for people to see you in. Are you taking the time to enjoy this moment and just kind of take it all in?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'm just happy that I've been a part of a project that I personally loved and was surrounded by people who are really very talented and worked very hard, and the result paid off, and people genuinely really like it, and that's just a very satisfying feeling. And then with that always comes the attention that goes with it, which I'm used to, and it makes me laugh sometimes, because you can put just as much effort into something small that doesn't go anywhere, and you go, well, no one cared about that one. Oh, they care about this one. Oh, that's okay. That's just how the business works. It's fine. You just kind of ride along with it, and you've got to really. So I'm enjoying riding along with this one though, because it's something that I genuinely properly care about.
Yeah, I like though when you put your name into Google that it does still come up. Look what the boy from Love Actually, not Love Island, Love Actually looks like now. That would be great. You should go on that. But the thing is, you need to post more on Instagram. Then we wouldn't have this problem.
I know.
Look like Thomas this year.
Everyone bangs on about that. I know, and I try every now and again, and then I just realise I just don't care enough about it. It's just not very me. And if I did, it would just be nonsense, because my heart's not invested in it properly.
No, fair enough.
Sorry, world.
Fair enough. Never mind. At least I have this lovely interview to watch. That will give them everything they need. Thanks so much, Thomas. Good luck with the film. Good luck with everything else as well that you've got coming up.
Cheers. Thank you.
Speak to you soon.